this is Becky and I am back with another process video. Today I'm going to be using We Are Memory Keepers Wildflower Collection. I am going to use this yellow ombre paper as my background. Now this collection, I have gotten several papers and the sticker sheet in a D-stash that I had purchased. So this is the first time that I've used it, I believe. I pulled it out and I think I did 3 layouts, but I think this is going to be the first one that goes up on YouTube. Right here I'm looking through the papers that came with this, and that die cut piece I pulled out and put on the photos says all good things are wild and free. Right there, that floral paper that is under there with the navy blue is the one that I decide I am going to use. So there it is, and that's where I'm deciding that I'm going to use that. And the reason that I wanted that one is because the dark navy kind of tied in with those photos. But later I am going to reprint those photos and they're going to be lighter because my printer was running out of cyan and they did not print as deep as the originals printed, but I still used them. I'm going to go ahead and put down 2 corner pieces of this floral paper. I don't know why, but I've been using this Tombow small tape runner lately, and it doesn't stick as well as the Scotch ATG gun in the adhesive with that, but I've been using it lately, and I think it's because when I take the gun out and I sit it on the side of my desk, it makes all sorts of shadows, and that is why I initially stopped using it as much, but now I'm thinking maybe I need to go back to that. So here's where I reprinted those photos and went ahead and trimmed them down. I am still going to use that die cut in that same spot. Right here are some Pebbles ABC. They're kind of like a corrugated thicker, and I make my title be Cooling Off. Now, I do end up changing my mind about this a little while later. I wanted to kind of move it around, but I used the Scotch Quick Dry adhesive to put it down, so there was no moving it. Specifically, I wanted to move the whole title because I was going to put something else down there, but the N is higher than the rest of the letters, and I at least wanted to adjust that, but it was not happening. Right here, I'm pointing at this camera that is on this cut apart sheet, and I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut that out. I am going to use that camera. Now I have had the opportunity to use this line on 1 or 2 other layouts, and I really like it, and I actually also made a journal out of it. And I think, what did I have, 6 or 7 papers, so I'm pretty much out of them now. I think I might have 1 or 2 left, but it was a lot of fun to use, but also kind of difficult. Right here I went ahead and pulled out some of the embellishments. I'm scattering those around the page, trying to figure out what I might want to do. And I did cut this tag out right here. I thought I was going to use that tag. It is pink and green, and I wanted a little bit more green and a little bit more pink. But I don't end up using that. I end up fussy cutting out some flowers and putting those around the right and left hand corners of the photo. So these pictures are just of some wildlife that we observed at Ossabaw Island. It was in 2012. My sister came to visit. We took the boat out. We went out to this island and picked up some seashells and just explored a little bit. But these are the birds that were out there, and I put cooling off, but I think they were actually, when the surf would come in, I think they were snatching up little fish, and I think they're actually eating, not cooling off. But I'm not a scientist person, so I can't say that for sure. It's just what I imagine. Right here I decided to go ahead and back this camera on a piece of cardstock. I wanted it to be a little bit thicker because I had just fussy cut that out of the piece of paper. And I'm sorry to say, but the We Are Memory Keepers paper, it is not all that thick. In fact, I recently got a Chamel 12 by 12 paper pad, which the paper pads are notorious for being thin, but it's the paper in that paper pad is thicker than this double-sided We Are Memory Keepers paper. But that paper pad is probably one of the thickest papers I've had in a paper pad, excluding DCWV, an older line that they had, Retro Mod. That was really nice and thick. But it was also called cardstock paper. It wasn't called pattern paper. So here I am still trying to figure out what I want to put around here. You can see I put down those blue flowers that I fussy cut out of one of the papers. And I apparently totally cut this out, but you can't hardly see this. But I had stitched around several of the flowers and also around the border of the navy corners. And I don't know why I cut that out. That is so weird. But it was a lot of work for a little teeny tiny bit of payoff. And I think it's because the paper was so dark. I'm guessing, I don't know, but you can't hardly see it on this video. It's in front of me and I can see it, and still it doesn't give it a whole lot. It doesn't add a whole lot to the page. So it was a lot of time spent for not much of an impact. So that kind of sucks. But if you look closely at the flowers, particularly in that bottom left hand corner, you can see where the stitching. So I pulled this label off the sticker sheet and I wanted to go ahead and stamp it with the date. It was April 1st, 2012. And I had also pulled out some ink that I'm pretty sure I'm going to show you, but I thought it was a slick surface ink, and I still think it is an ink for right here, Brilliance. I think that is for slick surfaces, but I still managed to mess it up. I'm going to use this Heidi Swap in Seafoam and put some splatters around a few different areas on this page. And then I am going to pull out some gold. It's Faber-Castell Texture Gems. And initially I was going to drop them on the page, but I've had them stored upside down and I don't think I was supposed to do that. The texture gems weren't relaxing. Even if I flicked the bottom of the page, they were still staying at a peak like a little mountain. So I went ahead and squirted it out on my desk and mixed it with water and just did splatters instead, because it was not working for me, and I think it's the way I stored it. Or it could be because it is running low, which I don't think that would be the case. I think it's how I've been having it stored. So after I do that, I'm going to do nothing else, I don't think. So thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.